What are some of the challenges that you face?
Absolutely. I've been in the entertainment industry before entertainment was as structured as it is right now. And I've seen the entertainment industry transforming. I've worked with, as Bay said, different investors, being record labels, international record labels at the same time. I've been managing or being part of striking different kind of deals, which is usually publishing deal, record dealing, and digital distribution. I must say one of the challenges that still remains a challenge in my business world with artists across Africa, because I deal with several artists in different countries, is the system that we have in place in Pan-Africa. When I say Pan-Africa, I exclude South Africa because their system is extremely well structured. Now, when I present an artist to any record dealer, record company, or investors, what they want to see, just like any other business, are the numbers. How you can guarantee the return of the artist and the music. That has been the biggest challenge that I've been having, because in every organization that I go through, being the copyright societies, endorsement companies, corporate companies that engage with artists in terms of endorsement, merchandising, we don't have numbers yet. All the numbers are very risky. So it was on my decision to start investing in artists and showing. That also gives you the leverage when the artist has done probably a year of success. In this case, I'll take an example of Ali Kiba. When we went
I forgot to mention, this is Ali Kiba's manager, right here.
So when Ali Kiba was on stage, it was a very challenging time. As you may know, he had a couple of competitions before he came back to the game. Finding an investment for him at that time was complicated. I must say 80% of the people were just like, he's burnt out, he's never gonna come back, his time is done. And convincing a record label to come up with an amount of money is impossible. So what you have to do is source money. We've gone to different extremes. I have different artists that have put in their houses, put in their cars, put in their work, got money from relatives and parents and invested in their money, and they invested in their business first. And then after you have the success of the 1 year, that's when I'm ready to sit down at the table with Sony, Universal, etc. and so forth, with numbers that Ali Kiba's numbers are this, and this is what we want in this business in terms of negotiation.
Well, big up. Ali Kiba's had a great year. Big up on that. Makofi, Ali Kiba, you guys have done a great job. So basically what I'm hearing from you is, first of all, the artist needs to be marketable. Needs to be somebody that you can sit in a room with and discuss with investors. Remember, investors are not from the music business.
No, they don't.
They just looking at numbers. They looking at, okay, who's this guy? How does he look? How is his persona? What's his numbers? YouTube numbers? I mean, SoundCloud. All that stuff has to be in order for them to really make a move.
Absolutely.
Right. And I keep telling this to many artists. You are a brand. You're not just a musician. Remember that this is your livelihood. Just imagine how a doctor puts up a signboard. You look at a dentist. You're driving by the street. You see a dentist. You want to go back and see, okay, who's this dentist? This looks really nice. Like, I want to come here. The way he's arranged this. So a business is an art business is like that. As a musician, Savara, have you found that there's been challenges getting investment in this business?
Before I answer your question, my name is Savara. I'm a singer, performer, and producer with Sauti Sol Entertainment. Thank you for the chance to be here, and I think this is a great opportunity when I see, at least, people gathering to talk about music business. Things that weren't there before, like when I was starting out as a musician, these things were there, but they weren't to this magnitude, and how people can just gather and take this thing very seriously. So I'm proud of Ongea, and I think this is a good opportunity for our people to just get some knowledge of music and business. To answer what you said, you asked me, I've grown up as a struggling artist for the longest time. Like, I've invested in myself so much until it really started to work, and still with the magnitude of with the club that we have as a band, Sauti Sol, it still is a numbers game, you know. At the end of the day, it is a numbers game. I might be successful. I might be very, very, very successful on the streets. You might be knowing my name and saying this and this, but what determines an investor seeing the good or seeing the money or seeing the return on investment in me is the numbers. And that's the problem, like, we artists challenge us. As artists, I'm speaking on behalf of an artist, it's hard to get sponsorship here because of the numbers only. And the numbers in Kenya, or rather in East Africa, is cultural. If you look at TZ, getting numbers in TZ is easy as compared to Kenya. Statistically, look at the platforms whereby we are judged. Like look at Instagram, look at Facebook, look at the Facebook interaction of Kenyans, and look at the Facebook interactions of Tanzania. Then you understand it is a numbers game. And unless you look at it as a business, and you look at it as, okay, I'm good, he's good also. What makes Tusker, what makes E-LABZ, what makes East African Breweries Limited, what makes Safaricom, any other corporate, what makes this big record label to come and look at you? And yeah, he might be talented than you, but why will they pick you, though you're not even as talented as he? So unless you look at it as a business, it cannot work. And for Kenyans, and for Kenyan artists to be able to attract such numbers, we must be able to look at this as a business.
Heard it from Savara himself. I mean, big up. It seems like you just have to keep growing, because once you guys hit 1 million views on YouTube. How did that feel? Like, that's many artists cannot really reach that level, because then you're in a different league now. You've done 1 million views. People look at you different, you know. Even the investors are like, okay, cool, we're interested. But remember, once you hit 1 million, now you're looking at 5 million, because it just keeps growing and growing. Yeah.
And all that, to connect it to the number game, the numbers game, is the fact that you can be able to tell as an artist, you're starting out, I have an acoustic guitar, I can stand here and I want to perform. I play and 5 of you notice me. What do I do to grow that number? Do I just continue singing? So artists must be able to invest in themselves. You had 10,000 shillings, you went into a studio, you recorded a single, you think this is enough. Then you have to invest 500,000 shillings as a beginner maybe to do a video. That's investment. So you must be able to account for that 500,000, that's 20,000 or 10,000 used in the studio, and make sure that in 6 months or in a year, can you be able to explain that? But if we just do music because we feel nice in the studio, we have a team, like Sauti Sol Entertainment, we have a team. We have a manager, we have a road manager, we have a publicist, I have an accountant, I have a lawyer, and all those people have to be paid. So I have to invest in myself every other day. I'm paid, okay, 5 million for this. I have to take 4 million and say, okay, I have to do this and this and this and this. And then 100,000, okay, let me take 100,000. Because if I don't invest in myself, I won't be able to be played on MTV. I won't be able to be played on Trace. It just doesn't happen. Because many people in Africa, many young people are producing music and submitting music. But what makes you different? You have to reinvest in yourself.